What's up, guys? Farooqi Bros and my wife Fatma here, back with another Built Different stream. And today for you guys, we're going to be doing something a little different. We'll be doing our top 5 movies of 2022 thus far. This comes on the heels of Top Gun Maverick, which recently just overtook Avengers Infinity War as the 6th highest grossing movie domestically, which I think is a big win for cinema. It's a big win for traditional movie making, and it's a big slowdown on streaming, which a lot of people have thought was going to overtake theatrical. But we can get into that a little later. But with that in mind, I was thinking, does Top Gun fit in the top 5 movies of this year for you guys? And where do we fit, or generally what movies have spoken out to us the most or since January? So Zian, I'm gonna let you kick us off. What is your top 5? What's the best way to do it? Do we just give our top 5, or do we all give our top 3, or what do we? How do we want to do it? You want to do top 5 straight? What's the best way to do the round table?
Top 3 is fine, but you could do top 5 also, because I'm looking at my top 3 and I know it's gonna be different from your guys' top 3. So you go either way.
Yeah. So let's go top 5. So Zian, you can start us off. What is your top 5 movies of 2022 thus far?
Okay, so number 5 I have is Nope, which is pretty good, but I think there's an echo. You'll have to mute, but which is pretty good, but based on what the other films I have on the list, it wasn't good enough to top those. At least when I was watching, it was pretty interesting, and it had a lot of thought-provoking stuff after the fact. We talk about theories and what stuff meant in the movie, but it still didn't really push the envelope for me to be higher than 5th place. 4th, I have Elvis, which I thought was really good. It was slightly longer than it needed to be, but it didn't really hinder the film at all. I thought it was done very well. I thought Austin Butler did a great job as well. Number 3, I have Top Gun, which now, like you said, is the highest grossing domestic film of all time, being Infinity War. And I think that's great. That can deserve a whole nother topic in its own of cinema returning, because people were saying that MCU and super movies have diluted what films are and the potential of other films that don't belong to an IP like superheroes. So the fact that Top Gun did so well and still is doing well is a great sign for films. Number 2, I feel like this is where the controversy is going to happen, because I feel like a lot of you guys have this as number 1. Sorry, I keep getting a very fake glitch call. Okay, it's fine. So number 2, I have Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is an amazing movie. It's the second. It's only one of the 2 movies I have as a perfect 5 out of 5. I know it'll be controversial for Sheraz because his top results 5 out of 5. I'm pretty sure, but this is a 5 out of 5 movie. Is amazing in every way, and I had a great time watching it. But number 1 for me is The Batman. It was just the film. It was perfect. It was amazing in almost every way, and honestly, I found nothing to knock it on. So that is my number 1 film so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of your top 5 are similar to what we have, more or less, but I think the order is going to be different as we go on. But next, how about you, Fatma? What are your top 5 movies thus far?
I don't really like to do rankings at all. I've spoken about this on multiple times on Twitter and previous personal streams. So I've, except for one film this year, which was Fantastic Beasts, I've thoroughly enjoyed all of them. Some more so than the others for different reasons, for different personal reasons. But it's very similar to Zayan's list as well. I think Top Gun was wonderful, and it was amazing to watch and see the technicality of it, and to see it do so well in the age of I don't know, however they shoot films these days. Elvis I absolutely loved, and I'm an Elvis fan. I love my blue suede shoes, so I really, really enjoyed Elvis. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once was it was fun and it was enjoyable. Sometimes it was a bit too much for me personally, but I still think it was one of the top films that was released this year. So I've got 3 now, but none of these are in order. I hate ordering them because each one is like from a different category, and in my head, like I personally can't categorize them unless they're almost in the same genre. The Batman, of course, was amazing. Like I loved it. It was just such a beautiful film to watch visually, and the cast was amazing, and everything about it was brilliant. So I've got 4 now, haven't I? Fifth one, I don't know. I mean, I really, really did enjoy Nope, so maybe that works. But yeah, I think it's about the same, but I don't really have a ranking, which makes it different. But I did enjoy other films as well, that were very notable and very fun. I think I really enjoyed Black Phone. I know none of your horror film aficionados here, so from the horror genre, I think Black Phone was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, I think they're the main ones that really stood out to me this year. Bullet Train recently was really good. Really, really
Which is
good.
funny because a lot of the critical reception of the movie wasn't that great. So you're saying that the critics got it wrong. You think it was really good.
Yeah, because I don't know what the critical reception was. I haven't had a look at what people were thinking about it or what they thought was wrong with it. In all honesty, I just think it was a fun ride. All in all, it may be a tad bit too long in some parts, but it was a fun thing to watch. I guess it was very different,
But not in your top 5.
not top 5, but these are just notable films as well that I thought they were a great time to note of.
Right.
So far. Sorry.
I have movies also that don't fit my top 5, but we can get into kind of like what those outside ones are that were peeking in but didn't get quite in. But Samir, what about you? Like, which of these movies stood out to you most? Like, what's your number 1? That's what I'm most curious about.
What's my number 1?
Yeah, we'll give all of them, but I'm very curious about your number 1.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. So there's 2 movies I haven't seen. I haven't seen Elvis and I haven't seen Top Gun, which I think would be in my top 5. From what I've heard about them. But I think I'll give 4 movies that I'd consider to be the ones that are worth mentioning. I think last I put Marcel The Shell, which was just incredibly wholesome. I think it was the movie that had the most emotional impact this year. But still, some of the movies are better than it. I think I put Nope 3rd, which at first I didn't like that much, but as it aged well, I think it got better. I think Jordan Peele is great. Then second, I put The Batman, which is a 5-star movie, of course. And first, I put Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was just the best movie.
Yeah, I think Everything Everywhere has shown up on Fatma. It wasn't on your list, right? Or am I
It was, but I do have my criticisms of it slightly. I think it is a great film, and like it has a lot to offer in terms of multiple themes that span across multiple family relationships and stuff like that. But there were some parts that I just thought they were a bit too much for me to be like, okay, I can suspend my belief to a certain degree, but some of it was a little too in your face, in my opinion, which could float everyone else's boat.
Yeah. So Zion, it was number 2 for you. It was number 3 or number 1 for Samir. All right. So for me, it's interesting because when I first started this year, there's 2 points I'm making before I get into my top 5. When I started this year, I was telling the bros and even Fatma, I was saying that I want to limit the number of 5 stars I give out this year. I want to limit it. I don't want to give too many out. I'll have made 4 to 5 5-star movies. I don't want to touch more than that, right? And so far, I think I've already done my 5, or I have 4 out of 5 done, right? So, and the second thing is what Fatma's other point was, which is about ranking. And I think it's very interesting that I feel like ranking wasn't that common when it comes to movies outside the last 20 years or so, because I think the sportification of movies is a pretty recent trend. And that's why I wore my sports shirt. I wore a Lakers shirt this year because in sports, everything is ranking.
This year?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Said you wore it this year.
this year. I wore it right now. And the reason I'm wearing it is because sports has clear winners and losers to the point where you can rank a sports person or a sports team pretty easily because there's records, there's data, right? Whereas movies, the only data you have is the box office, which is not indicative of a movie's quality, and the second is critical reception, which, depending who you're talking to, should not matter as much as it does, right? So, but the reason I kept it is because, for whatever reason, there's a lot of interest in it. People like ranking things. People like having things top to 5. And Fatma, you want to go the classical route where it's actually diluting the movie experience.
I disagree with ranking them. Maybe like you can rank. I suppose you can rank them in terms of personal enjoyment, but like I just think films are so subjective, and like you can come out watching something and resonating with a certain element that someone else might not, and that doesn't necessarily mean that the film is bad or good. It just means that for you, this film and the themes that it touched and the way that they went about it went, like, you know, affected you. And that's all that is what film is, in all honesty. Like, that's when you're creating something. It saddens me that now that there's, like, for example, the MCU formula works and it's wonderful and it's amazing and it generates billions and a lot of people like go and enjoy that theatrical experience, but there's a formula that almost all films now want to stay with, which in my opinion is wrong and shouldn't be the way that films are made, because sometimes something surprises you and you find yourself loving something that you didn't realize that, wow, this mix of techniques in filmmaking has really, like, you know, impacted me and made me enjoy something. So when you rank them, you're doing a disservice to the entire film industry. I only think you should rank things within the same genre for personal reasons, which is why I'm very like, no, I don't like to rank. Right. Even when I do Star Wars rankings, I'm just like, no, each period has its own magic, in my opinion. So I find it very difficult to rank movies and TV shows in general.
Right. But that being said, I will now give my ranking of the
no, but you were talking about the sportification of it. So
yeah,
it is something to be said in general.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
So for me, my number 5 is Elvis. I thought Elvis was pretty fantastic, and it was one of my surprises. Coming into Elvis, the trailers were okay. Nothing was speaking to me all too much. Generally, I'm not the biggest biopic fan. So like I don't normally can get into like the real life story of this singer or this actor. I tend to not. It's not my preferred genre. So that's why I feel like this movie in particular really kind of did it for me. I think there's 2 reasons why. Number 1 is Austin Butler fantastically portrays Elvis, and I think you really see an actor in his craft, and that's why I still think, you know, we're now in the tail end of the year, and I think he's run away for me as the best actor. And for my vote for Critics' Choice, I'll be giving him best actor. So I would go with him. And then I think the director did an obviously fantastic job making the movie interesting, because there's ways to do boring biopics. There's been several Elvis movies, so it's not the first, it's not going to be the last, but I think this is the most unique, and that's why it sits at number 5 on my list. At number 4, I have Top Gun Maverick. Again, you guys have also talked about Top Gun, so I don't want to add too much more to it. It's just, you know, it's a return to old school cinema. It feels good. The production quality is absolutely fantastic. Tom Cruise, despite his personal life, I think as an actor is up there as one of the GOATs, because his commitment to the craft of cinema is so strong that he just doesn't want to take anything other than excellence from himself and from the crew. So I put Top Gun at number 4. My number 3 is The Batman. So I always say there's only a few superhero movies that transcend its own genre and become cinema. Very few. I think there's maybe only 10 to 15 cinema superhero movies ever, and The Batman earned its place on that list, mostly because Matt Reeves just knows what he's doing, and Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, everyone was great. Paul Dano as Riddler, fantastic. So that movie is number 3 for me, the only superhero movie of this year. At number 2, now we're getting into controversial territory. Number 2, I have Everything Everywhere All at Once as the second best movie of this year. The reason for that being is, again, I see the only reason it's not number 1 for me is what I experienced on a consecutive watch. So in my first watch, I was pretty convinced this is probably number 1. on my consecutive watch, what I found was that at times it can be a little overbearing, where it's like there's so much hitting you, where I'm like, I'm getting a little tired. Now, then again, maybe that's the point because it's supposed to be everything everywhere all at once. So you're feeling the all at once aspect. Whether it works for the movie or not, I'm not sure, but there are some incredible moments, like the two rock scenes talking to it is, in my opinion, the best scene in the movie. So that's when the movie takes like that one step forward. Another best scene is when the movie kind of fake ends and then you get the pan out and it's the other universe version watching the end of the other universe. I'm like, this is all like top shelf cinema right now. So those are the reasons why it's number 2, and it's right up there for number 1. But number 1, I'm gonna use Samir's analogy here, the most wholesome movie of the year. So and my number 1 movie is Marcel The Shell, right? So I know Zion will probably disagree. Samir, you had top 3, and Fatma, you have it. I don't think you mentioned your top 5, so maybe it's not even.
I didn't mention it, but it is one of the notable films for me. I think I
Right.
really enjoyed the element of family being brought together, and just it's so wholesome and so adorable. But again, that's why rankings aren't fair.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I have it 6 because they didn't break my top 5.
Yeah. And Samir, you put it in your top 5, right? So me and Samir both put it in our top 5s. Now, the reason I like it, so it feels like, like different time periods need a different movie. And I feel like this movie is such a good movie for this time period where everyone is kind of like not doing their best. Everyone is on various stages of either, they're depressed or they're going through something. There's not a lot of wholesome moments where you can watch something and feel moved internally. And there's kids movies that try to, not this movie is a kids movie, but there are like animation movies, stuff like that will try to do it.
So you're saying DC Super Pets doesn't move people?
Haven't had the
So,
chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, I mean, when The Rock is putting up the end credit scene on his Instagram, I was like, I think I got a sense of what this movie is. So the reason why it's number 1 is that it's just extremely wholesome. I think the character of Marcel is beloved, such a lovable character. He's a very lovable character. I love his story. I love the cinematography. I like the stop motion aspect. So I think there is something that's very good. There's something classic about the production quality. I know it's not a big budget. It's the lowest budget movie on this list by far. So, but I think they did such a great job. And the fact that they tied it into the original YouTube short made it all the better for me. So for me, Marcel The Shell is number 1. So I missed one movie off my list. And now in hindsight, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, this should have been there. But, and it's Nope. So Nope, it's funny because if I would remove something, it would be Elvis. So it would be Elvis versus Nope for me as like the toss of who takes the spot. I ended up giving it to Elvis only because I don't think Nope is in Jordan Peele's. It's not his number 1. And if it was his number 1, then I would have put it. But I think it's in his top, it's in his top echelon. Like all his movies, I think are 4 and above, like 4 stars and above.
But
I think
there's
Get Out
only
is
three.
the best.
He's only produced 3.
Yeah, 3. But I'm saying it's
Alright.
not in his
Get
top.
Out,
It's not in
Us,
his. Yeah, Us. So I think it's second of his top 3. So
So wait, I want to know your ranking for his films now.
it's Get Out. Get Out. I still have number 1.
Obviously, Get Out is always number 1.
I have Nope at number 2, and then there was Us, right?
Yeah.
Us at number 3.
Okay.
So,
Cool. Interesting.
Yeah, so that's my ranking. Samir, I know you're more high on the movie than I am, but yeah, that's basically my top 5. I mean, we have other people. I mean, not to say kids movies aren't good because some people in the comments said they had all these are animated movies basically. Yeah, all of them are. The Bad Guys, Lightyear, DC Super Pets, Elvis isn't, and then Minions: Rise of Gru. I know Samir's my favorite movie is Minions. I'm surprised he didn't put it on the list, but it's okay. And we also have we do a little trolling, but the best movie is Thor: Love and Thunder. I want some more clarification on that. Toral Man is saying number 5 is the Batman. Robotic Uzi is saying number 17 is Marcel The Shell, with Marcel the Shoe with shells up. But so let's move from top 5 into what are the movies we're most looking forward to the end of the year? And are there any movies do we think that can move into our top 5 in any way, shape, or form? So Zion, is there any one movie or 2 movies you think that coming up have a chance to jump into it, or does your top 5 look pretty set?
Really, just Avatar. I can't think of any other movie that's left in this year that can really break the top 5 at this point. So aside from Avatar, even then, the trailer looked great, but based on how the first movie was, I'm not that big a fan of the first movie. I thought it was pretty boring then too. in my opinion. And it's completely forgettable. Like I can't even say what the main character's name is or any of the characters actually because I don't think anybody can. Does anybody actually remember anything about the movie? So I think
Is this Avatar 1?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think though Avatar 2 I think it does have a higher ceiling than Avatar 1 will. I think it will be better. It's really the only film in my opinion that has a chance of breaking.
I think Knives Out, the second one. I forgot what the movie title is. But I think Knives Out has a chance also.
That's
Knives
coming
Out
out this
2.
year.
It is, yeah, isn't it? It's coming out
Yeah,
in a
I
couple
think
months.
Knives Out is due for this year.
The reason it's not, I feel like the reason it's not getting it's not getting any love in the theatrical market is because it's not coming out in theaters. It's actually getting a exclusive Netflix release, which I think is the wrong move. But especially given current structure where suddenly cinema is back, I get why they did that decision during the pandemic. They were like, sell this movie to streaming; it'll do better in streaming, and it will do great on Netflix, I'm sure. But I just think it deserved, in hindsight 2020, it deserved a theatrical release.
And there's absolutely no way that Netflix can do a joint like
do a
you know
short.
how they did for Army of the Dead.
Army, like like a limited.
They did it for Uncut Gems also. They did a limited theatrical screening.
They did, yeah, and I think they did it for The Irishman, but only in like indie.
So maybe we'll get a short theatrical release. But I'm saying that none of the trailers ever played in any movies I've been to. It's because it's not really considered a theatrical film. Other movies, I mean, people say Don't Worry, Darling is going to be one of the better movies. It's not. The trailers didn't do it for me personally, but they say they in this question are saying that it might be pretty good. The Woman King with Viola Davis, a lot of people are saying that could be one of the better movies. But I think that's the only ones that I could think of. Samir, any of the movies I mentioned, or do you have something that I'm missing that might be coming up that's pretty good?
I mean, none that will crack the top 5. I think.
Black Panther, maybe Black Panther 2. You know?
That's one that I'm really looking forward to because I think the movie that got me into the MCU. I think I remember, if I remember correctly, it was Black Panther. Something about it made me like maybe I should give the MCU like a full go because I was sick and tired of their like continuous same thing every day. But yeah, Black Panther 2 seems like it's going to be really, really good. Especially, I feel like maybe he was given more resources for this one because the first one hit $1 billion, and like the trailer just looks so beautiful. It doesn't look like the usual MCU trailers that we've had for the past good 5 years almost.
Yeah, and it has to overcome so much because without Chadwick Boseman, like
absolutely,
it has to overcome a lot. So I'm rooting for it. But we have a special guest in the comments who gave his best movie of the year, and we have to debate it now automatically. So my brother-in-law and Fatma's brother Suhail is saying Multiverse of Madness is definitely the best movie of the year. So
he absolutely loves this film. He loves it so much so that he doesn't stop talking about it. He thinks it's the best film of the year.
No, and if you can't tell the sarcasm in her voice, Suhail absolutely despises Multiverse of Madness, and it did not show up in any of our lists, which is funny because I think Samir, you mentioned this to me personally. I feel like the movie isn't aging well. Like it's only been half a year, and it's.
But that can be said about 90% of MCU movies.
Yeah, well, some age well. Like I don't know. I feel like no, every movie diminishes for sure. Even No Way Home, which I had top shelf when it came out of superhero movies, I've lowered it on even my list. Like it's not what it was when it first came out. You know. And I love No Way Home, but it's just not on that level. Though I don't think Suhail likes No Way Home either. But
he doesn't.
Yeah. But I think every MC movie tends to diminish. Some tend to stay in the limelight, but not many. Tari also has her top 5. She's saying Knives Out 2 is coming out in BFI in London. Her top 5 their top 5 movie is 3,000 Years of Longing. Did that movie come out?
No, it hasn't. It's due to come out, and I'm really excited for that. You guys don't tap into these like obscure. I'm
not gonna lie, I didn't like that trailer. I didn't like.
No, I think it's really interesting, and
I think George Miller
got like a really interesting take on it.
I think George Miller is absolutely like a fantastic director. There's something about it. It is George Miller. Yeah.
God, for some reason I had it as. I think he was meant anyway. Sorry.
Yeah, the guy who directed Mad Max, right?
Oh yeah.
I didn't like the trailer, so I don't know. The trailer didn't do it for me. Samir, you like the trailer?
I don't even remember what trailer you're talking.
It's the one with the genie,
It's the
you know,
genie
Idris
in the
Elba.
lamp. And then
I-
Tilda Swinton.
I kind of remember it. I
It
don't know,
played during
we'll
our Nope movie. Bodies. It's not for me. Like I watched from the trailer. But if you enjoyed it, it's great. Strange Worlds, Disney animated films. I haven't seen the trailer for it either.
Yeah, I think.
But there
Blonde
was-
could be-
What movie?
I really want to
Blonde.
check RRR. Is it
Wait,
RRR?
Blonde. Are you talking about
Oh.
Blonde?
It's a Marilyn Monroe biopic.
That movie apparently is very controversial.
Which one?
Blonde,
It's what?
controversial.
Blonde.
Yeah, Marilyn
haven't
Monroe
heard.
biopic. Marilyn Monroe
Really?
biopic. The one that's
Oh yeah, isn't that due to come out soon?
Yeah,
is it this year?
September.
It is. It's this year.
Oh,
It's either the end
watch
of August.
watch.
No,
Twitter
I think it's
explode.
the middle of September that it comes out. Maybe like towards the end of September, if
Yeah.
my memory
Yeah.
serves me correctly. But what is it? RRR. The Netflix. The it's like a Bollywood film.
The
in
Bollywood
Netflix.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of
it
people are
sounds
saying that movie is
so
very
good.
good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I think it's gone into some certain into specific techniques on a certain budget or something that people were praising about it,
Right.
and that they made it look so beautiful in a very interesting way.
And then Disenchanted also. Have you seen Enchanted, the first one?
Of course, who hasn't?
Yeah, I like Enchanted. I don't care.
I don't.
Amy Adams.
You
kills
don't
in
like
that
it.
role.
You don't like
I don't
it.
like Enchanted that much.
Wow.
That's the I don't like this opinion.
I think it's, I think
Nope,
it's
nope.
overrated.
I mean, I don't. It could be overrated, but it's still good. But I'm not sure if the second movie is gonna be good though. Like, I
You
don't
could
know.
try to watch
The
it.
set
I'm
photos look
telling
great.
you won't be able to get through it.
No. Oh, I know it's dated. I'm well aware, but it's still Amy Adams. So
No, it's
Hocus Pocus
amazing.
2? I haven't heard this one.
I think it's a Disney Plus movie
Ah, okay.
special.
Wasn't there an animated movie on Netflix that you watched that said it was very good? Because I saw someone else talking about it. The name is escaping me. There's an
Is it the
animated
one-
movie on Netflix.
Is it the
You
Sea
watched it.
Creature one?
Yeah, Sea Creature. A lot of people are saying that movie's
That
really
was
good.
so good.
I'm hearing even Skip Bayless said it's one of his favorite movies. Like he was watching. Honestly.
No, I watched it. I can't remember the
Yeah.
name of it. It's the one with like this red sea creature thing. Ah.
Yeah. So Rhyme Slim is like,
The
oh,
Sea Beast.
blonde Sea Beast. Yeah. So Rhyme like the blonde isn't a biopic. Apparently, it's a fake story or something. So yeah, by definition, it's not a biopic. It's actually based on a book that someone wrote that sold very well about Marilyn Monroe, but they're adapting the book. And some people claim that there's certain aspects of the book that tell the story of her life in a more derogatory way, without getting into like the weeds of it. But so people, let's see. I think it's gonna be very controversial when it comes out. Yeah, Sea Beast. Fatma, you're right. I haven't seen Sea Beast, but I've heard very good things about it.
It's very
good.
wholesome. It's very cute. I really like
Well,
it.
I love wholesome movies, so you know.
I think you'd really enjoy it.
And I noticed that none of us mentioned Black Adam. You know, none of us mentioned it.
It
I
was
think Black
Samir.
Adam's gonna be the
If we
best
go
one.
back, a year, Samir would have on his list as the dark horse best movie of 2022.
Dark Horse, yeah. Every time.
Not best. He
Better
has a
than
dark
Batman.
horse.
That's the dark horse. Is
This
basically,
happens every
that's what he's
time.
basically alluding to.
Samir's two dark horses. Let me list them. He went off on the record for Eternals, and then he went on the
Boy
record for
Strong.
Black
Also,
Adam.
Venom. Venom was before Eternals.
Oh, yeah, Venom was
No,
the
Venom
first
was
one. He went-
Strauss. Venom was Strauss.
Oh yeah, Venom was me. Yeah, Venom was me. Yeah, I said Venom was a dark horse. Yeah, it's. Oh, and Prey. Prey was also a great movie this year. Who's seen Prey? Samir, you seen Prey?
Yes, it's
seen
amazing.
some of
It's so good. I thought it was great. My family split in the middle, so like I thought it was really, really great. And I love like the showcasing of Indigenous people and the actual hiring of actual Indigenous people in this. And it's also on a budget. It showed the idea of the predator in such a interesting
The
way.
reason I haven't
And he
seen
did
it
a
is
really good job with directing the film, in my opinion.
all the footage I've seen does look good. I just never into the Predator movies, so I never got into it. But I heard this one, even if you haven't seen Predator, you can still get into it. You know, understand?
Oh, absolutely, you can. And I don't like the Predator vs Prey and all of the ones that have been produced before, but this one was really, really interesting. I had the basic gist of what the Predator's powers
Yeah.
are from previous films, but this one was really, really good. I think it showed.
And this one I haven't seen. Thank you, Tari, for giving us this list of movies because I'm remembering now 2022. A lot of it was in Northman was good. I wanted to watch it. I missed it. So
It's very interesting. I watched half of it and then I slept on the plane, unfortunately, because that's the only chance I managed to watch it. But the way it shows the Vikings is done in a very artsy way that I was like, wow, this is like quite interesting, and the cast is really good in it too.
So remember earlier in the comments, we had Thor: Love and Thunder is the best. So once we called them out on it, they've come back saying, okay, the best is the Batman because my favorite genre is mystery thriller, like Zodiac, Seven, and Silence of the Lamb. Is Silence of the Lamb a mystery thriller?
It's more like psychological horror. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have counted it as horror, but maybe what do I know? I'm not into horror.
I'm looking forward to I think it was one of the trailers that we saw before Nope, but I can't find the name of it, and it's not the Exorcist prequel. It's, if anyone in the comments knows this, please correct me because I completely forgot.
Is it Enola Holmes 2?
Enola Holmes 2 is really fun too. Don't knock it down. Enola Holmes is a fun thing, but it's a horror movie that's set to come, and it's about the basic gist of the trailer is a nun who I think a nun or a female Christian practicing woman goes.
Oh yeah, we saw the trailer together.
Yes, we did. Yeah, and I completely forgot the name of the film, and I'm just like really, really stuck on it, and I really want to watch it because she goes
it's not
to
the Exorcist prequel.
An exorcism. It's not. I've just been googling it. I don't think it's an Exorcist prequel, but she's going to some priest place to get some basic exorcism training, and I'm really excited for that. But I don't know what the name of it is.
Is it Orphan First Kill?
No, Orphan First Kill is also something that I'm really excited for because that first one was really good.
There's one movie that scares me so much. The trailer, I was like, I'll admit it. I'm a wimp when it comes to horror, but this movie called Smile is freaking me out. I'm telling you, I'll never watch it ever. It's
anyone
so
know
freaky.
What this film is?
Samir, tell me it's not freaky, bro.
I don't remember, man. I don't remember.
Dude, watch the trailer for Smile, but don't watch it at night, bro.
I'll watch it right now.
Don't watch it right now.
Literally like.
Yeah, I searched for upcoming horror movies and I can't find it, but I'm sure it's whatever it is. Yeah, there's a movie called The Exorcist coming out, but I guess that was it. Either way, another movie now I forgot because we were talking about the horror movies was I don't know, what was it? It was like something's coming out. I was like, this is Pinocchio. Is that coming out this year?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, the better one.
The better one, not the Disney one. You know, I'm actually I'll show for Disney, but in this case, you're talking about the Disney one. I'm talking about the Guillermo del Toro one.
I'm talking about the Disney one's coming out this year. I don't know what the Guillermo del Toro one.
The del Toro one's also coming out this year, I think. The Disney one could be good. I just hate that you know it could be good. Robert Zemeckis, so he directed Back to the Future, so I know he can do the right movie. I just wish it got a theatrical release. I don't want to watch that movie on Disney Plus. In fact, it coming out on Disney Plus is losing my hype for it. I'm losing hype for the movie because it's coming out on Disney Plus. Otherwise, I would watch Pinocchio. I'm good with it, you know? Yeah. You won't say that. Either way, I think thank you.
No, I'm adamant to talk about this film.
You'll never find it.
Barbarian, the one. No, it's not that one. I'm really, really annoyed that I can't remember what it's called.
I guess it was too indie of a movie for us.
Which film?
I guess we'll find. I don't know the one you're talking about.
The one that I'm looking for. No, it's too.
It doesn't exist. It's just The Exorcist.
It's really annoying me. I'm gonna have to like.
It's fine.
Okay. Well, it's something that's coming out.
It's something that's like kind of like horror.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Orphan First Kill, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's not that one. But I am excited for Aquaman 2 next year, though.
That's next year. Yeah.
I know.
Could be good. Yeah.
It will be good. It'll be amazing.
Could be amazing.
It'll be interesting to see the differences in the way that Black Panther showcases Namor, versus how obviously like Aquaman did it. So that'll be really interesting to see and watch.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do our. I think we're out of topics, so we'll do our fun topic of the week. Oh, is it Pray for the Devil?
Wait 1 second. Let me just Google it because I can remember
it probably was this.
Is that the one where she's going down like a stairwell or something?
Yeah. Tari's been very clutch. You've been very clutch this stream.
Yes, it's that one. Thank you so much. It was really, really bothering me in the back of my head. Now I've got it on my list now. When's it due to come out?
Who knows?
October 26th.
Oh.
You're gonna have fun.
I don't like horror movies. Either way, let's do our fun topic of the day to end the stream. So this time we talked so much about cinema that now I want to go to superheroes. So here's a prompt. You can only pick one of these from each row. And your choices are only Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man, right? So you can just pick one from each row. So the question remains, let's go one row. Yeah, so each row is going horizontally. So instead of going all at once, let's go around the room each time, okay? So row number 1, Zion, what would you pick? That's Tobey Maguire, Christian Bale, and Christopher Reeve.
This row is actually the hardest row for me when I look at all the rows. But I have to go crazy and just pick Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
You can't. That was my choice.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one from this row for me.
That's the right choice.
All right, so Samir, you said the right choice, so you're still saying Tobey Maguire is the best of the three.
I agree, yeah.
Fatma, who's the best of the three? Tobey, Christian Bale, or Christopher Reeve?
Sorry, I love Superman and Spider-Man and Batman, but I'm going to go with Christian Bale. Sorry.
And then I'll also go Tobey Maguire. So I love Christopher Reeve. I love Christian Bale. Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man, full stop. You know? There's no other Spider-Man. Oh, there are other Spider-Man, but he's the best one. All right, second row. You have Henry Cavill versus Tom Holland versus Robert Pattinson. Zion, who would you go with?
Obviously, Robert Pattinson.
What? Obviously.
Not even a
He had
debate.
one movie.
And he was better than the other two in this one movie. And don't tell me Tom Holland Spider-Man was good. He had like 7 movies, and he was the only good in this last one.
But his parts in all the movies are not that bad.
Are you sure about that? I think I have to revisit the movies and watch it again.
Yeah, I don't think Tom Holland's ever been the bad part of any of his movies.
He's never been bad, but he's not better than Pattinson. That.
All right, so Samir, who's the best of the second group?
I'm going with Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. What about
this
you?
guy chose Spider-Man 2 times in a row.
Yeah, he did pick Spider-Man twice in a row. All right, what about you, Fatma?
Robert Pattinson.
So Fatma's picked Batman twice. Samir's picked Spider-Man twice.
You're literally setting me up to like. I'm only gonna pick.
Why? You can pick other characters.
Because I like them the most.
So for me, difficult, but I'll go the shill answer. I'll pick Superman, Henry Cavill.
You would?
Yeah, because he's Superman. No, he's Superman. Listen, Henry Cavill is
he's the third best Superman in the whole picture.
That's so true.
He's not the third best Superman.
He's Lee the third. He's the
second.
No. So
who's the second? One second.
We'll get there. But I think he's the best. Robert Pattinson could become the best for like the longevity, you know. But he only has one movie. I think Henry Cavill in the 2 movies did good enough, and he's also I want to have one Superman on his list, so it'd be him. Okay. Row 3. It's Ben Affleck's Batman, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and Brandon Routh Superman. So Zion, once again, who's your pick in this one?
Obviously, Batfleck. There's like no question about it.
Well, there are questions, but
why is Brandon Routh even in this row?
I don't know why he's in this row. I guess he just has to be chosen. Yeah. What about you, Samir?
Why'd you guess my pick, Sean?
I know your pick. It's Andrew Garfield.
It's Andrew Garfield's Spider.
But why?
You can't pick Spider-Man 3 times. You can't. You're not allowed.
Of course you can. They're all good. They're all so good. They're all great.
Bale, Cavill, Affleck. We'll get to that. So Fatma, now it's your turn.
Oh my God, Batfleck.
Really, I thought it'd be at least close for you. Like
3 Batman in a row.
Because you love Andrew Garfield.
I'm literally just with Batman now, and it's annoying me. But like the options that each of them has been pissed.
I thought you love Andrew Garfield though.
I love Andrew Garfield more so than I love Tom Holland. I think Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are kind of on the same level for me personally. But if it's Andrew Garfield versus Ben Affleck's Batman, then it's Ben Affleck's Batman because Ben Affleck, you know.
Right. For me,
and his Batman is amazing.
For me, this one is difficult, but I'm also going with Batfleck over Andrew Garfield. If Zack Snyder's Justice League never came out, I would have gone with Andrew Garfield because then its sample size of Garfield's bigger, whereas Batman has 2 sample movies, which was there's 3 really. You have BVS, unfortunately, you have 2017 Jail, which you have to put into account, and then you take Zack Snyder's Justice League. So the 3 interpretations, 2 are great, 1 is bad.
What about his one scene in Suicide Squad?
There you go.
Well, and what a yeah.
That is actually a good scene. Like, say what you will about Suicide Squad.
It's not just a good scene. It's the best scene in the movie, which is a bad thing about the movie. If the best thing of a movie is a post-credit scene, then your movie is bad, unfortunately.
It's not even a post-credit scene, though.
It is, though, isn't it?
It's both. It's both him as Batman and him as Bruce Wayne that carries the movie.
Oh, yeah, I was
He
talking
was
about
literally wearing the cowl.
Oh, I was talking about his Bruce Wayne scene, yeah.
Well, then
In the end,
he's
with Amanda
got
Waller.
multiple scenes in Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So I'm going with Batfleck. I'm sorry, Samir. No Andrew Garfield for me this time around. All right, now we're going in the video game world. Which Fatma, I don't think you have much experience with these 3, but it's video game Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2018. I think 2018, yeah. Batman from the Arkham series, so Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and then Superman from Injustice, which in my opinion, I'm already saying right now, the worst iteration of Superman ever made, ever. Like, it's never been a worse version.
But you love Superman trope.
I don't love evil Superman. I don't know why you bring that up. I don't love evil Superman. No, you love evil Superman. You do.
No.
I like misunderstood anti-life brainwash Superman. Brainwash Superman can go with. I don't like Superman who goes evil on his own accord. Either way, this is actually confusing because in a singular game, I think you can make a very strong case that the best Spider-Man ever is actually the video game Spider-Man. You can make the case, but the sample size is so small that again I have to give it to Arkham because you can make case Kevin Conroy is the voice actor, 3 games, incredible arc. He dies in the end, or he turns into a demon. I don't know. It's a sick ending for the story. Spoilers for Arkham Knight, but I go with Arkham Batman and Superman. Yo, it's the worst. The worst.
He's the worst. That's just Superman is the worst character in the entire list.
Even looking at the pictures pissing me off, and that's what. And I just want to point this out because I have to roast you. I've roasted him. That's it. So Robotic Uzi said his is Bale, Cavill, Affleck, and Injustice 2 Batman. Bro, that's not Injustice 2. It's Arkham.
Bro, this guy Uzi's tripping, bro.
He's tripping, bro. This guy is saying nope, wasn't that good. That deserves top 5 position, bro. What are you saying? So now that I give mine first, right? This time. All right. So Zion, what's yours?
Obviously, Arkham Batman. You can make the same case for the video game Spider-Man as you do for Arkham Batman. Aside from the final game where they took a story, I feel like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City Batman, he's like the most peak Batman you can ever get in like every possible way. He's like respected by everybody. He's also at like the top of his game, and he has every possible. He went through everything. He has all his Bat family or whatever. He's like the peak of what Batman is. So Arkham Batman is
and Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy, of course.
All right, Samir, what about you?
I'd also pick Batman.
Thank God, but I think all Spider-Man all run down. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, bro?
This is peak Batman. I think the games make me a little claustrophobic, but
the first game is hella claustrophobic.
Yeah,
that's what makes it so good.
How is the game claustrophobic?
They put you in like in the beginning. First game, they put you in a very small hallway. So when you're walking with Batman, you feel like the Arkham Asylum is crumbling around you, and you spend 40 hours in just Arkham Asylum, and Scarecrow is just messing with your head and scaring you the whole game because his fear toxin is all over the building. I'll have to show you that game. Like, we're gonna play it together, but it's you're gonna like it. I think it's like very interesting version of Batman.
Yeah. So I know I don't count in this because I don't really game, but from my knowledge, because of the longevity that Batman's games in terms of Arkham Knight, or Arkham Asylum, and all of it. I mean, I don't know if you can see from behind. For the most part, I literally have Joker Arkham Origins poster here, which I haven't even played it, but I think it's such a cool world. So once again, I am Batman.
4th in a row.
Oh my God, man.
I think you can guess what my next one will be too, but you know.
Well, I'm gonna have to go with the next one. I'm gonna do it to everybody, but Zion, what's your favorite from the last row?
This last row is actually the hardest from all of them, because you could make a case that these three at the bottom are also the best versions of each character. So it's hard to choose, but for me personally, it has to be Batman. This Batman is like the GOAT of GOAT Batmans, because it's the Batman from Series 1, but he encompasses the entire DCAU Batman in my head. So this is like the Batman, and he's still unmatched.
Oh, he is the best Batman for sure, I think, of all time. I don't know if Spectacular Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man of all time, but he's up there. But
he was before. You could make a strong case before the video game Spider-Man came out. That this
animated
is the best version of
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
No, I like the 90s Spider-Man is also sick. But either way, Samir, what about you?
I think Spectacular Spider-Man's a GOAT. But I will
Wait, is it actually the GOAT?
Go with that.
No.
He could have been the GOAT. Yeah, he could have been the GOAT.
He could have been good if he got one more season. It cut prematurely, so its sample size was getting too small.
Exactly. He was at the height. He got cut out in his.
The show got canceled way too early. If you had one more season to develop like one more storyline, they only did 2 seasons, and it went very quick. They did the Venom saga, and they did the other saga, the other thing. But then that was it. Yeah, or was it only the Venom saga? Oh, they did a post Venom saga too. Either way, for me, it's DCAU Superman, which in my opinion is the best Superman on this list. The storyline top to bottom. And Samir, you made a joke about evil Superman trope. They did evil Superman in like the most subtle, not subtle, but they did such like a carefully handed evil Superman. And then he felt the repercussions of turning evil for the next 20 years, like of his life, even at the end of his life, which is such a sick like story. In Batman Beyond, when Superman is like 80 years old, Batman still keeps one sliver of kryptonite just in case he goes evil again. Like that means they're best friends. Superman and Batman are best friends in that universe, but even at the end of their respective lives, he keeps one sliver of kryptonite just in case, which is like a sick thing. And then Nick used it against him because he turns evil twice in that timeline, like once when he's young, once when he's old.
And the entire plot of Justice League season 2 or season 1 is because of him turning evil 15 years prior in his life in Superman series.
Yeah. And then the government created a secret program to kill superheroes because Superman turned evil in a different animated series. That's sick. Okay, either way, I can do a whole video about it, and one day I will, like a full retrospective of Superman and DCAU. But he's the GOAT by far. But Batman is second, and unfortunately Spider-Man's third. But I love Batman and Superman from that universe. All right, so now we're done. But I want to go back to this list and look at it from one last angle.
Ask your wife.
Oh, wife, Fatma, what is your top 3? I thought you had. I forgot. I'm sorry. I apologize. I confused you for Boo.
So I've only seen animated Superman in the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoon series. I've seen a bit more of the Batman the animated series. So obviously, surprise, surprise, it's the Batman. In every single one of these rows, it's literally just been the Batman. So I'm so sorry for my lack of variety, but I do appreciate the animated Superman in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and I can't wait to watch the animated Superman with you soon.
Yeah, it'll be very fun. Yeah. So
I feel like I'm most surprised that you chose Robert Pattinson over Henry Cavill.
Me or Fatma?
Yeah,
Fatma.
because based on the acting, I think Robert Pattinson did a slightly better job than Henry Cavill, but I do absolutely love Henry Cavill. I mean, I literally have like
it's more than slightly.
almost like
It's
a
more than
2
slightly.
foot. I don't know, 2 foot. I don't know what the measurements that you guys use. It's huge. It's almost like a meter version of Superman. Actually, I can just show him. I mean, I have Henry Cavill here with me all the time. It's not for lack of not liking him, but if you're paying them in terms of like performances, Robert Pattinson, not even unfortunately, he actually just did a better job.
One person acts like Batman, one person looks like Superman. That is the problem. Like one thing, he just looks like Superman. So in costume, he is the best physical look of Superman ever. Like better than Chris Tree, better than Ryan Reynolds, obviously. Just acting wise, leaves a little bit to be desired. But at least visually, he's Superman. That's why I think hindsight, people always complain like, why didn't they give Henry Cavill more lines in BVS or Man of Steel? I think Zach just knew what he's doing. Like, I think like, you give him less lines because he just looks good as Superman. But if you make him talk too much, it doesn't really work out. You know, like let him just like stand there and like look like Superman. Like I'm Superman. You know?
I don't think he was given as much of a chance, and I really, really, really want him to get a solo movie. I really do. Some way, somehow, somewhat. I think that Henry Cavill should be given at least another chance because he did do an amazing job in Man of Steel as much as he possibly could with the constraints that he has. But I feel like he has been able to exercise his acting muscles a bit more. He's developed in multiple different roles since then. So I think he may be able to give us a really great Superman with more talking, with more lines and stuff like that. So who knows?
My last point is just quick round robin and then round there. We got to pick the best and the worst in general. Like the whole list, pick just one best and one worst. Like who is the number one in general of all these actors or portrayals?
And our worst will all be the same.
Fine.
Will it? Will it though?
Depends what yours is gonna be. I know my worst, but Suzanne, what's the best? What's the best out of all of them?
The best for me out of all of them is Batman the Animated Series or DCAU Batman, and the worst is the obvious Injustice Superman.
Samir, what about you? What's the best? What's the worst?
I think mine is exactly the same as Jan's.
No, it cannot be the same as Jan. So I'm gonna.
It can't be because you chose Spectacular Spider-Man, so you can now say
no, I didn't.
Batman the Animated Series is best.
I didn't choose that. I said he's the GOAT, but I'm gonna go with Batman.
Okay. I mustn't have heard this. Sounds like someone's
coming off. So talk about his own because he's a weird guy.
All right, so you're saying Batman's the best from the cartoons?
Put the Batman from the other animated show, and then he'd be the best.
That's a big cap, but it's okay.
The 2004 The Batman? Yeah, you don't know.
I think it's very good, yes.
Oh, of course. He's
and the worst is Injustice by far. By so far.
Injustice Superman is an insult to the character. It not existing would do me like pleasure.
This Superman kind of regressed Superman as a character for years. You know,
for years, yeah.
It pushed him back.
The damage was irreparable. Like you just pushed him back. You know? Just look at him. Why is he wearing a helmet on his sides? What's going on? Why is he smiling like that? And why is it the worst costume design? Everything's wrong.
This is the worst costume.
And you know what's sad? You know what the saddest part is? The voice actor for the Injustice Superman is the same as the Justice League Superman, the cartoon Superman. It's George Newbern, who we interviewed on this channel. Great guy. He's working on me on another project that I can't announce right now, but he's a great guy, right? But nah, the script wasn't it. The script wasn't it as wrong. Oh God, I put a different picture.
I mean, Nope works as well. Like Nope.
Yeah, Nope. So, what's my favorite? My favorite is also DCAU Superman cartoon, and my worst is Injustice Superman, which for reasons said. Whatever happened to that other show that we roasted so much last year? Did it get canceled in the HBO Max nonsense?
It's definitely gonna be canceled.
That Superman show that's like him and Lois, and they're like, it's like a buddy, it's like a romance comedy.
Was that when the animated stuff was announced?
Yeah, alongside the Batman show. But the Batman show is definitely good because it's Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm. By the way, there's a Bruce Timm story, which again, no one in the chat cares. No one cares about in the stream. But recently, he was asked, like, can you please, can you retcon the Batman Beyond episode of Superman out of existence because it ruins Superman's arc? And he like roasted him so bad. He was like, "Why would I remove that?" He said, "If I remove that, that'd remove everything." But so many things don't make sense in hindsight. 20 years later, he says that nothing's getting removed. But it's a whole other debate for a different time. But so, did everyone give Fatma? Did you give your best and worst yet?
Somehow I'm forgotten today.
No. I remembered you. I was like,
so I can't really talk about the games in all honesty because I haven't played any of them. So I'm gonna remove all three of them. I can go by what everyone's saying in terms of like Injustice Superman being the worst, but I might like him. Who knows? Sammy's gonna hate me for this because I know he's watching right now. He's watching downstairs and he's watching on the TV. I genuinely don't like most of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I only like Tom Holland's Spider-Man recently when he actually became Spider-Man.
He
Before
can't.
that,
Yeah, but he can't be worse than Brandon Routh.
he's absolutely like dying.
He can't be worse than Brandon Routh. Like, if you let's take out all the animated in the video games. Let's look just live action. By default, Brandon Routh is the one that has to go out.
I mean,
right?
yeah,
It's a big
I
gap.
suppose, but he's only had one. But if you
Technically, he has two.
two,
You gotta count. You gotta count him in the
Kingdom Come.
CW. Kingdom Come.
are we
When he showed up
counting
in the
shows?
At least he reprised the same person who he was in the movie, so it's technically
I
a
suppose
retrend.
Yeah, I guess, but I haven't seen the show, so I don't really know
I-
how
I-
good or bad
The
he
hot
was.
take is that he actually wasn't that bad. You just give it a bad
yeah.
movie.
Oh, that is a correct hot take. If Umar was here, he would actually back me up on this one because he's actually not that bad. He's actually pretty good.
Oh,
In
he's not
fact,
that bad, but compared to everyone
in
else,
some ways, he's
the
better than
worst
Henry
of
Cavill.
all.
In some ways,
But that's what I'm saying though. Like he's not had a chance to showcase. But Tom Holland's Spider-Man has been in what? Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War, his 3 movies, and out of all of like how many are there so far? Out of all of them, in all honesty, he was only good as Spider-Man, as the character as we know him. My opinion is that he was only good in.
I don't know. I disagree.
I know you disagree, and I know my brother is gonna kill me after this. He's gonna come. He's
In my
gonna go
opinion,
down.
he was only bad in Far From Home, but even then, you blame the writing. But really, if you look at, I think he was great in Civil War because he showed up for 5 minutes and they just put all the quips. You know, like they made him very Spider-Man-y in Civil War, and he was good in Infinity War, I think. And in Endgame, he showed up 5 minutes, so he had a very small role in Endgame. But Infinity War and Civil War, I think the Russo brothers did a good job with them overall.
Wow, my
I
other
think
brother
John-
agrees with me. I'm
So-
gonna go down to like a war downstairs now. It's
Yeah.
gonna be so bad.
It's the fake American accent that bothers me. So Suhail, this is an interesting point because I'm going to go back to the list and show you how most of these actors are British. Like, well, not most, but
Yeah, you got
most.
Bill,
Robert Pattinson,
Tom Holland,
Henry Cavill,
Andrew
Bale.
Garfield.
the entire second row are British people.
Wow, that is true.
Yeah, Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman are all British, and the row after that they're not. Oh no, Andrew Garfield is British, right?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
And the top Christian Bale's not British, but he's something like he's like
No, he is British.
he's British. Okay, I thought he was something else. Right.
He's
I thought he was
British in
Scottish.
origin. Yeah, no,
Okay,
no,
so
he's
he's British.
I'm almost certain
So-
he's British.
So Suhail, don't you feel like I feel like Henry Cavill slips more than Tom Holland does. Like Henry Cavill doesn't fully do the American accent perfectly. Tom did a bad job. You can just tell it's fake. Well, us Americans can't tell. For us, like it's serviceable.
He's
you know?
Welsh, but he's British. Well, Wales is part
Welsh,
of Britain.
okay. Right. That's
Christian
what I was
Bale.
thinking.
I mean, yeah, Brandon Routh. He
Ralph,
is
yeah.
Brandon Routh. He does. His film is the worst out of the rest of them.
Brandon Routh, pull up to the podcast.
But yeah, it's between those two. My favorite so far out of all of them, God, it's so hard. And it's 3 Batmans that are like literally fighting for the top spot for me. Because I love The Dark Knight, I love Batman and BVS, and I love Robert Pattinson as the Batman. So I don't know. I'm basically just a Batman shell at this point with this list.
I guess, yeah. For me, yeah, I already gave mine. But I think if I didn't go any of the cartoons, I would say the best is actually Toby is number 1. And then the worst is Brandon Routh. I'm sorry. But I like him, but he's not the best.
Yeah.
But Toby's my like surprise, like just live action picks. I think, yeah. Samir, did you give yours or am I tripping? You did it, didn't you?
Yeah, I gave
Since
mine.
the name's-
He didn't
All
give
right.
it, not counting the animation stuff.
All right, take out the animations. Go live action only.
Just live action, the worst of Brandon Routh, of course. It's not just the movie. Like, I don't like his character that much. Like, I understand that Far From Home is bad, but I think Spider-Man in Far From Home is not bad as a character. I think they did his part fine. I think it was everything else that was the problem, especially the villain. That was the worst.
Villain. I think, yeah, they wasted Jake Gyllenhaal.
And I'm gonna go with Toby also,
Toby's number 1.
of course.
I love copying me.
Spider-Man's best character.
Well, Spider-Man is up there, but Tobia was just his arc in the 3 movies and his own acting chops are just incredible. Either way, what do you guys think? What are your top 5 movies of 2022? Let us know in the comments below and join the debate. From myself, from Zion, from Fatma, and from Samir, we're the Farooqi Bros and Fatma. We're the Farooqi family.
I'll
We'll
be a
see you
bro for
next-
the day.
We're the Farooqi family, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.